Hello and welcome back to Meet Your Maker. In today's video we will be talking about guards, the mods you can use, the visual range and attack range, sound range, how to sneak up on guards, patrols and aggro pathfinding, and I'm gonna try something new. At the beginning of each chapter you will find a short summary of the topic of the chapter, so you can quickly get a look at all of the necessary information, and afterwards I will showcase almost all, if not most, of the stuff we talk about in the summary. So if you only want to know the bare bone information, the numbers, just skip to the beginning of each chapter and take a look at the summary. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. Please leave a like or also a dislike and some feedback. And I guess let's get straight into it. Alright, let's dive into the meta at hand. Let's first talk about the guard's attack and visual range. Now, the basics of it. Unmodded, the visual spotting range is 8 blocks, and if you include the mod that increases the spotting range, it's up to 11 blocks. However, the actual attack range, once you pull their aggro, is 1 block further than each of the spotting distances. So modded and unmodded. Unmodded it's 9 blocks of attack range, and modded it's 12 blocks of attack range. This data is consistent with all of the 4 guards. However, the warmonger is melee only, so he's an exception to it. There's also a second exception, that in theory the guards have an infinite attack range, because for as long as the attack animation is playing, they are tracking your current position. So if you initiate the attack animation and then run outside of the attack range, they can still hit you if you stop moving once they fired their projectile. So keep that one in mind. Now let's take a look at in-game at all of this, so I can showcase it to you. Prepared a little area here. First, let's take a look at the warmonger. You can see this line from his position till this block. It's 8 blocks. So once I enter this area, he will be pissed at me and try to kill me. It's gonna take him a little second, as you can see. Now he wants to kill me. Same goes for the one with the mod, as you can see on his left shoulder. It indicates he's modded. His range is 11 blocks, as I've stated earlier. As you can see, there's not much about it, not really interesting, not much to say about it. Now, let's take a look at the first ranged enemy, the Enforcer. As you can tell, the same line, same distance. However, I've included the skull to indicate the kill, the additional range of his attack range. I'm gonna show it to you. Now, pulled his aggro, he's gonna shoot. Gonna deflect the shot. And as you can see, I went 1 block further than his spotting distance. However, he can still shoot me and he hasn't moved yet. If I take 1 more step away, he will start chasing me, as you can see. This is also a good opportunity to showcase the, in theory, infinite attack range. So now I'm gonna wait for another attack and run away. As you can see, it will kill me, even though I walked roughly 4 blocks away from him. So now you know how exactly it looks like. Let's take a look at the one with the additional range. I mean, it's nothing special, just longer range. Gonna pull the aggro. Now there's a little issue with this one, because sometimes the one with the increase in range won't start chasing you if you walk outside of his range. Let me show you. Now the next time he shoots, he should start chasing, or he's just gonna ignore me, as you can see. The other guard started chasing me. However, this one refuses. I'm not sure why. It's not always the case. Sometimes he starts chasing me, sometimes he doesn't. I'm not sure why. I don't really have an explanation for it, and it seems to be completely randomized. Next, let's take a look at the cannon back. Same rule applies to him, same range, same kill range. As you can see, we aggroed him, he's gonna shoot now. And yes, you can destroy his bombs mid-air, but also while they are on the ground. Let me try that one. Yeah, as you have seen. So keep that in mind. Now he's gonna start chasing me because I went outside of his attack range, as you can see. He went one block further. Oh, I hope he didn't lure him. No, okay. Now the one with the additional increase in range. There's really nothing special about these. It's just an increase in range. Step one block away into his attack range. And now he will go further away. And as you can see, he's gonna chase. He walked towards me to keep me in his range. So I'm not sure what's causing the bug with sometimes where they won't chase you. I'm not sure about it. It's really randomized. Now let's take a look at these guys. I really hate them. Same rule applies to them. Aggro distance, shooting distance, it's the same. However, keep in mind, their projectiles have a slight homing effect for a few seconds after being launched, as you can tell. Now, let's see if he's gonna chase me. He should, like anyone else. Yes, he does. So, I'm sorry. So, well, let's get rid of him. And let's see if this one, with the increase in range, also refuses to chase me. Standard range, 11 blocks. Let's move one back into his maximum attacking range, as you can see. And one more back to see if he starts chasing me. He did. I'll showcase it by walking backwards more. You know, that's the issue with the flying guys. Instead of directly chasing me, he, I don't know, just flew away. And now he's back at his position. I'm not exactly sure why. So if you want to create an army that chases after the raider, do not use the additional range. It's sometimes, well, sometimes they won't chase a player. Keep that one in mind. Anyways, that's it about the... I can't spell or speak today. About the visual and attacking distance of each of the 4 guards. Now, let's move over to the next topic. Alright, let's dive into the next topic. It's a smaller one and not really as important, but it's about aggroing guards via sound. Now, it's possible, if a guard is facing his back towards you, to sneak up on him for an easy backstab. However, I doubt it's gonna be a viable tactic in the game. But I just wanted to showcase it, because I figured that one out while experimenting a bit around with the guards. Each block closer to the guard makes it harder to sneak up on him, because the closer you are to him, the faster he will hear you. There seems to be some kind of an invisible aggro bar that fills up the longer you move around and have a clear line of sight towards the guard. And remaining still seems to reset said aggro bar. The hearing distance to aggro a guard is roughly 7 blocks in distance. And only grappling and walking around will alert the guard. Walking is significantly faster to pull the aggro than just grappling. And by the way, increasing the visual distance with a mod does not increase their hearing distance. Now, let's quickly take a look. Game. It's really simple, just a quick showcase. As you can see, here's the guard with his back towards us, once again the line, and I can sneak up on him but it's gonna take some time because we need to let that invisible aggro meter fleet. As you can tell, he pulled aggro. We pulled aggro. Now let's quickly de-aggro him. It's gonna take a few seconds. And then I will showcase you can sneak up to him. Now let's try it with the grapple because it's much faster. As you can see, he didn't notice us yet. And by the way, if we get too close, obviously he will get alerted. As you can see, we can backstab him now from here. And now we pull the aggro, because we were much closer to him, so keep that one in mind. As I said, I'm not sure how viable a tactic like that one is. It works with all of the 4 guards. So if you want to be sneaky for some reason, I guess you can try it. But I doubt it's gonna be useful, but I still wanted to showcase it to you. Anyways, time to move to the next topic. Alright, let's talk about the next topic, guard aggro. Now, there are 2 stages. In theory there are 3 stages, calm, alerted and aggroed, but calm is the natural state of the guard when he spawns in. Let's talk about the alerted status first. It's caused by sound. There are 2 possible sound cues that will aggro a guard. We've taken a look at the first one, the part on how to sneak up to a guard. So player-made sounds by walking or grappling around. And the second way is through the Bloodlust mod. We will take a look at the mods in a later part of this video. A guard that is alerted will instantly aggro and lock onto any raider that enters their line of sight. Now, keep in mind, once a guard is alerted, he has a 360-degree line of sight around its body. So even if the guard isn't facing you, if he's alerted and you have a clear line of sight to him, he will aggro onto you. In the alerted status, the guard will pathfind to the last seen location of the player, or, well, where the sound was played that alerted the guard. After 8 or 7 seconds, it will revert to the calm state, or it will get aggroed by spotting the player. Now let's talk about the second stage, being aggroed. There are 4 guards, and depending on which type has spotted you, they will either chase you by the shortest route to the player, or just based on line of sight. We will take a look at it in a bit, so stick with me. After losing line of sight for 5 seconds, any aggroed guard will revert to the alerted status. That's about it. Each guard will chase the player for as long as line of sight is given. After losing line of sight and reverting to the calm state, the guard will return to its original position or patrol route and resume patrolling. Now let's take a look at how each guard behaves in a chase. The warmonger is pretty simple. It chases you until you break line of sight, at which point it will stick around your last seen location for a few seconds before reverting to the calm state. The Hornet is the same as the warmonger, but its AI is a bit broken sometimes, because instead of moving to your last seen location, he simply randomly floats around for a second or 2. I'm not sure what causes this bug. It's completely random when it happens. So keep that one in mind, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be hurting any base builders, but it's a bug. The Enforcer and Cannonbag is a different story. Both take the shortest possible road towards your location, and they will track you through walls. You can even watch them adjust their pathfinding in real time, so they are more efficient at chasing you. But if they lose line of sight, they won't move to your last scene location. We will see it in a minute now, because I'm gonna swap over to the game, and we will take a look at how exactly guards chase. Now the first one is the Enforcer. As you can see, I've set up a small patrol road to showcase them returning to it. I'm gonna pull the aggro now and watch him dance around as he tracks me through the wall. As you can see, he always tries to take the shortest route, updating it in real time. And he's not moving to my last scene location. He suddenly stops chasing, entering the alerted status, and as you can see, returning to the calm state and resuming its patrol. Let's take a look at the warmonger. It's a bit different, because you will see he simply chases based on line of sight, moving to the last scene location of the player, lingering around for a few seconds before reverting to the calm state, as you can see. Let me show it to you once more. Come on, turn around. Okay, interesting. As you can see, you can actually mess around with him quite a bit, because instead of the Enforcer, he doesn't track us through the blocks. So yeah, keep that one in mind. Anyways, let's move on to the Cannonbag. The Hornet, I'm sorry. He is pretty much the same as the Warmonger, as you can see. Maybe he's gonna bug out. Maybe we can spot it. Let me try once more. So he's the same as the Warmonger, simply chasing based on line of sight. As you can see, he's randomly floated a bit backwards, so keep that one in mind. It's completely random when this bug happens. I'm not sure how to reproduce it and if it's gonna be fixed. Now the Cannonbag is the same as the Enforcer. He's gonna track us through walls, takes the shortest route possible. As you can see, quite easy to manipulate. And that's about it for guard behavior in chases. Nothing special, but I just wanted to show it to you anyways. Let's move on to the next topic. And the last topic, guard mods and EU. Now there are 7 different mods. To be fair, most of them are pretty self-explanatory. That's why I won't showcase them all, just to keep the video short enough. And I want to feed the information to you as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's go. Adrenal Converter increases the movement speed. Seems to be roughly a 30% movement speed across the board. My personal opinion, it's a terrible choice. Only guard where it would be somewhat useful is the Warmonger, because all the other guards are ranged and movement speed won't really help them in any way. But even on the Warmonger, 30% isn't really much for the investment of 15 capacity points for the mod, so yeah, I don't really like it. Reflex manipulation, 15% faster attack speed. I'm not exactly sure if it's 15%. I'm unfortunately not a data miner to get the war data, but it should be pretty close to 15%. It's a pretty decent mod. The Warmonger seems to profit the most of it, I think, because it actually reduces its cooldown animation by a few frames. So a swarm of Warmongers with reflex manipulations could be incredibly scary. But it's a strong mod. I'd recommend it. Bloodlust. Bloodlust draws other guards to a guard that has entered the aggro state. Its range is 14 blocks in each direction, so it's a really huge range. It also goes through blocks, so it's really large. I'm not sure if I like this one, to be fair. You can set up some pretty nasty holocube ambushes, fill them up with warmongers, and use a lone enforcer to bait the warmongers with bloodlust towards him. Optical implant, as we've seen earlier in the attack and spotting range part of the video, it increases the spotting distance by 3 blocks for each of the guard. Deadman switch, after death the corpse explodes, seems to be roughly 2.5 second timer. Plating, self-explanatory, armors the guard in certain locations. We will quickly take a look at it in a few seconds. Short leash, pretty much a necessary mod in my opinion. Guards won't stray further than 1.5 blocks away from a set patrol route. If you like to spam enforcers, as an example, it's a necessary mod, because a smart raider will aggro your enforcers, will take cover, and the enforcers will start chasing after him. So a good player is able to bait all of your enforcers out of a kill box or something similar and easily kill off one enforcer after another. So short leash is a must-have for most of your guards, unless you place them in a spot where they can't move from. That's already about it. 7 mods. All of them cost 15 capacity points. Play a bit around with them. And just like I said, we will quickly take a look at the plating mod to showcase where exactly each guard is armored, because for every guard it's different. So let's take a look. Where's the game? Okay. I'm not sure why there was a black screen, I'm sorry. Anyways, let's take a look at the Hornet. The Hornet, God, it's loud. The Hornet gets an upper body armor, but only on the front. In general, every piece of armor only protects from the front, so keep that one in mind. However, the Hornet has a big weak spot. Since it tends to fly around in the air, it's actually much easier to reach the legs, which are not armored. So, armoring Hornets, it's pretty useless, because it's already easier to spot to hit the lower body part compared to the upper body part. Now the Cannonback gets an upper and lower body armor, as you can see. However, it leaves the head exposed, so you can hit him with any of the ranged weapons in the head to instantly kill them. If you're good enough, you can even hit the head with a sword, but it's kinda difficult, because most of the time the auto aim will strike for the upper body, which leaves you exposed for a few frames due to the small recovery animation you have to go through. The Warmonger also gets an upper and lower body armor. Same case here, the head is exposed for a headshot or a blade attack, and at the same time, once again, the back is open. Same with the lower part, so a backstab will kill any Warmonger. The Enforcer is pretty basic. Upper body armor, that's about it. No lower body armor, the head as well exposed. So yeah, to be honest, armoring Enforcers and Warmongers is probably the best call. I really don't recommend using plating on Hornets. It's a waste of points, and yeah, you really don't need armor on these guys. Cannonback, I'm not sure. Since it's quite a stationary target, it's rather easy to get behind it, but a room full with Cannonbacks armored would be pretty nasty. Anyways, I think that covers most of the interesting stuff about guards. If you have any questions left, please leave them down in the comments. I'd really appreciate if you like or dislike the video. Leave some feedback, please, since it's my second video. And if you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe. I've already planned some more videos. The next one will most likely be a short video about some wading tips. No, it won't be like 5 minutes for one tip. I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible because I know everybody hates these kind of videos. That's like top 10 tips in any game, and it's like a half an hour video. It's just annoying. So it's gonna be a short and spicy video. So feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Have a nice day, and I will see you next time.